Tom's Tourney 2024, and we are bringing you women's power pool action. Germany women versus Bristol women. A national team versus a geo team. So we get our spreadsheet sorted for you. And we have the German women's team in their white jerseys. They've got a little message to send back home on those cardboard little belters. But it's been a fantastic hot moment for Bristol women. They've been already taking down some scalps. The French women's national team, they defeated yesterday in the group stages, but trying to tussle their way. They took a loss against Hut women, 13-10 in the power pool stage. Of course, all of the teams in the women's power pools will be making it into quarterfinals. It's all about playing for placement, but there indeed is the aforementioned sign. All of the love to Alex and Marco. Of course, Marco Müller getting married this weekend. Congratulations to him. But there's a little bit of inside track as to what the level of excuse you have to miss any of events for the German women's team this season, Christina.
Indeed. So that's what the players told me. The only reason to miss a training camp or a tournament for the Germany women's squad going to Australia is if you are married. If it's your wedding there, if you're marrying. So if it's your wedding, you can miss a training camp, and Marco set that up nicely. So he didn't have to be here. I'm kidding, of course, but congratulations to Alex and Marco on their wedding from all of us here at ULTI.TV, and especially from the Germany women's squad.
And we've seen a couple of personnel come back to the fold of the women's division, of course, namely a superstar in her own right, Livka Volchak in that 42 shirt. Had a catch up with her yesterday evening, Christina, and she was saying it's a joy to play with this team because Charlotte and Anna Gerner, the two players about to connect right in that moment, can throw pretty much anything. Which, coming from a dynamic athlete like Volchak, is quite the statement. But Bristol women looking to make a statement here. They've got plenty of national team standard players from Great Britain, in both the Masters and the Seniors divisions. So you see Flissman there on the mark. And that one is going to escape Sophie Rompelt. It's the first turnover of this match. Picked up by Durbin. Into Taylor, who lashes it. Man's underneath, but Gerner behind absolutely rips it down from the sky. Not something you get to see too often as Anna Gerner playing defence, but it is a thing of beauty when it happens.
Of course, the team switched their offensive and defensive line yesterday, but are on their typical outlooks today.
Liebert with a high release backhand. Volchak grinding up to the line. Gerner doesn't like the look of anything, apart from the reset to Van Steebert. Everything relatively quiet upfield. Really great person coverage. Charles heading up line. Flat and low to Volchak. A little bit of a stumble for Simone Liebert in the deep space. But now Van Steebert again. Lots of Berliners on this team. The Jinx playing as Jinx Midnight this season. That's going to require the lid from Van Steebert, but does not happen. And off the deep space goes Amelia Durbin. Kenneth to pick up. That one a little bit wide, but all fine and well handled. Renata Van Eyter, of course, coming across, asked if she could play for Bristol this season. Still no Valkyria entering the women's division on the European stage. Ruth Taylor looking for an option, has Van Eyter jinking around, but has to just force it forwards and throws directly into the path of Volchak.
Such a messy point to start this game.
There's a little bit, isn't it? Charles, though, is going to do a beautiful throw, but really great heads-up play from Van Eyter, peeling off the defender, just sheltering the deep space.
Of course, from Lithuania originally, but lived in Sweden for a while, Van Eyter.
Taylor with a big put. Not sure exactly who the option was there. There's going to be a injury call, though, for Alice Beeching. one of the leaders for this team. So, of course, not only does she have to get herself off the pitch to address this lower limb, hopefully just a bit of a jutter injury, but she also has to choose who she wants as her own replacement, Christina.
That's a benefit, but I hope she's fine.
Yeah, that would be a very big loss, but she'll be replaced by Carla Link.
There's also going to be a substitution for Germany, Fiona Schluter coming in.
So 2 sets of fresh legs. This man turns around, connects with Durbin. Big release all the way around the bank, but again it's Garnier who snaffles it up. Has Rompelt getting things moving. A full jinx connection, but now Shooter. Wind starting to pick up a little bit in the latter stages of this afternoon, about 3:05 local time. Von Stebut to Rompelt. Everyone else giving plenty of room. But again, Stack not moving all of the time, but Volchak with an excellent read into Charles, and Garnier just shy. Easy pop pass into Volchak, and at long last, Germany women punched their first point in the scorecard of this game.
That was a 5-minute point at least, 6 minutes on the clock already for this game. And you can really see everyone still finding their way on this pitch. Maybe some throws that weren't thrown with intent and 100%, but in the end, Garnier and Schall in the handler space connecting with Volchak for the score. It's going to be a great game. Bristol really dialed into this defensive. Missing the English word here because I talked to the German coaches in German so much. Anyway, so
if you didn't know, Christina's native tongue is not English. So just to let you know how great she is being able to commentate in a second language. Certainly more than I could do with French.
Thank you very much for that. Well, sometimes I'm really at a loss of words. But
sometimes just because the play's so good. But our first look at Bristol's offence. Lulu, Getty Boyd on the far side. Link firing the cannon, but Nahis going to ground to deny Tash Collins.
The Hamburg player really dirtying her shirt for that one.
Oh, absolutely. The shirts don't stay clean for long on this field, whether or not you're making bids or just slipping over. The surface after yesterday's inclement weather is very slippy indeed. It's a little bit loose underfoot. Feels like you need to get some big rollers to just even things out because it's bobbly out there. Bristol looking to surround the German stack. Schuck setting off on the underneath, but the reset's taken. Pops it into the space for Müller. That one gets taken away by the wind. Oh, but ends up in the hands of Narkis. And then a turnover comes. So a short field, but squandered.
Great mark from Scheck to compensate that drop. Unfortunate in the wind picking up so bad. Müller launching it deep.
And plenty underneath it. Not the easiest reception, but Spanut makes it work. Now dishing through to Scarlett. Nice easy one. Müller around. Nahis now. Oh, there's plenty of separation, but the throw isn't good enough again. Just some of the maybe some of the spins need to be turned in this game. Just dial those throws in a little bit more. Most of it's a little bit loose.
It does seem like they're stressing to get the disc away from themselves, whereas a bit of like calm would really help.
So Bristol, nice central field position. Just in front of Boyd. The Irish handler who lashes it towards Saskia Kantorovic, who doesn't need to be a huge human to make huge plays, just reads it exceptionally, and that is the hold for Bristol after almost as many turnovers as the first point.
It did seem a little bit cleaner, just in terms of what Bristol cooked up there. I really like the flow, and what a great hook deep. Marie Förster trying to get in between the receiver and the disc, but it's impressively high jump, but not quite getting her fingertips around that. Of course, Förster also coming over from Germany mixed last season to play with this women's team. Indeed,
the women's gold medal winning team from EUC last year. And I think a couple of players from the German mixed side were thinking, oh, well, that's quite a fun team. They seem to have good chemistry. And by Jove, did they get good results? So you can understand why they then go and trial for the other division. They're eligible. Well, technically, as a female matching player, you're eligible to play in any division. But we tend to see them congregate more in mixed and women's.
Especially when we're going to a world championship.
It does happen, though. Which we kind of love to see. It's the least gender-biased division of all is open. Garnier has a very poached-off Charlotte Schall, which uses Volchak. Liebert coming from behind. Of course, plenty of World Games athletes here in this women's team. Garnier to Schall. We got Player of the Year last year in the European Season Awards. Doing it all. Oh, absolutely beautiful connections. This is more like it. This is the offense we expected the German women to put together.
And Liebert with the score. Wasn't sure if she could play all the games or managing her body a little bit, since I think she had a concussion or two, and also coming back from another injury. So great to see her out on the pitch.
You can see Bristol's passing defence, though. It is tight. It is up there. They definitely got the intensity right. But rather long time being taken between points for this German side. Both teams, well, in fact, all teams, all these games played to 15, 60-minute time caps, but you only have one timeout per team per game. It's just arranging themselves on the line. Monashuk, the fence climber, which is a joke from yesterday evening's proceedings. Having left a bag in a place that got locked. But a big shot down the far sideline for Bristol, just a little bit too far. So an opportunity here. Shepper tries to hit the space in front of Fenjugovic, but not to be. And there we go, Tash Collins with the goal. And after the earlier stumble, Bristol women do it on the second try.
It seemed like a bit of huck and D, try to get the huck off and then put pressure on, and that pressure worked for sure for Bristol. See that one shot score, two players near the disc, but none of them really in a good position to get a hand on the disc and try to prevent it. Just heard one of the Bristol players, hey, we're taking every point as it comes, which I really like as an attitude against a game like this, against an opponent like this in a game like this. Because the Germany women's scene, of course, they have the best of a whole country, as Bristol are a very good team, have some great pickups in addition, but one would expect on paper for Germany to be more composed.
It is early in the season, though, and we certainly saw yesterday, as you already mentioned, Christina, that the German women are experimenting. They're using this as you should, an early season development tournament. They're, changing up their lines, making sure that they're really testing the combinations, the formula. Although some people, such as Garnier with the disc right now, they know what their roles are going to be, anchoring the system on offence. But Charles said yesterday she was looking forward to getting back on the O-line proper, getting to touch the disc more. Volchak has the inside, but chooses the Aranta Rampelt. That one's going to be way too high, and really good defence. Rona Binney making sure she stays between her and Charles and the disc. Durbin around. Pick call.
A lot of chaos on that offensive possession here for Bristol.
Yes, indeed. Each of these lines actually for Bristol women, as I'm kind of thinking about it, I think they've probably got at least sort of 60-70% national team players, largely in the mixed division for last season for GB. Please see Durbin looking for the around for Van Eyter, but it's going to be Ruth Taylor coming in and collecting. Great defence from Levka Volchak to deny the underneath for this man. It's a bit of a shoot and hope. Taken away by Schluter. Von Steybrut. Nice and stable into Garnier. Over to Volchak. Oh, a cheeky little toss of an offhand. Garnier just saying, can we find our system and our flow, please? Everyone's thinking a little bit messy. Volchak trying to dance in front of Garnier. Now it's Herkens. Rosa Herkens, nice low backhand and a little bit of dainty footwork. There's going to be a discussion. Charles seems pretty certain she was in, but she'll take the respect to the ground check and a push pass into the breadbasket of Levka Volchak.
You can see that red zone offense for Germany working out well. Little passes, push and pop passes, and that's all you need. And great footwork from Volchak in the end, but just also good pressure from Bristol. I feel like they're still trying to experiment where what passes work best, to have like some that actually swing and change the angle of attack, and then work with a few pop passes to go back to switching field position. I would really love to see them connect a little bit more with the stack, or push them away to give the handlers more space. That's maybe something that needs adjusting as well.
Well, we can hear a little bit of frustration in the Bristol sideline, sort of, you know, just saying to each other, it doesn't matter who's matching up with you. You just need to cut and do your thing and play your game, which is great advice.
Of course, you can always control, like try and control the controllables, the things you can do. And just stake was given. Link on the far side. That's quite low, but it might just pay off. No, Inganaches again just saying, I'll have that, thanks. Now, can we have a quick counter response? Forster on the far sideline. Müller. Those two working it for this D-line offense. Cheeky scoop inside to Scala. Love that release point. Push past Naches, just using the calm conditions. Great confidence. Müller going up line. A little bit too flat on that cut. That one just swirls around to Forster. Erdmann on the run. Good defense from Bristol, staying strong. Scala now. Again with these push passes, we love to see it. And the lefty backhand of Marlene Müller finds Flora Scala for, at long last, Christina, a clean hold again. That was so nice, and I'm really proud of Flora. I've actually started playing together, so I have a lot of personal history with her. And we were talking last night, and she said to me, I'm playing offense. I'm not usually playing offense. I'm looking forward to having my role back. And can you imagine, I played a push pass? Like, I've never done that before. And I was like, oh yeah, and it worked out, right? And she's like, no, it absolutely did not. Lovely to see that these passes actually do work out. And she was just stressing about nothing. I also like that option because a flick into the wind in a short distance is probably the hardest throw in Frisbee, or one of the hardest ones. So push pass or having the offhand backhand, if you can execute those, I do enjoy those a little more. But that's just personal preference, maybe.
If you play your ultimate in a locality where there's a lot of indoors, you get very used to throwing push passes. Although there are a couple of players now decleated for Bristol that we should probably take note of. We've got Laurel Piper, unfortunately, in trackies and trainers rather than in cleats, which is a big loss. One of the Canadian talents that has been residing in the UK for a little while, and Alice Beeching, not AB. Unfortunately, having come off of that injury sub, has popped the Crocs on, taken the cleats off, and so I don't think we'll be playing the rest of this matchup. But Tash Collins, just working it through. Of course, her younger sister Izzy, is on the GB women's squad. Hocking is there in the centre field, but it's going to be the hams of the defence, the jaws of the zone closing up. And Muller now surveying the options. Oh, that's a huge backhand, surely too big, yes. Not quite there, but a nice idea.
Missing some love and float. But Sheppa so close to it in the end. If it had a tiniest bit of float and would have dribbled down, she could have definitely gotten there, because we know she can lay out.
Well, Anna Sheppa with a valiant effort nonetheless, but just will go back into the hands of Bristol.
I wonder if they go out zone again.
So Tash Collins way downtown, trying to keep Inga Nahis busy. We know that Boyd loves to throw an upside down pass, but she's going to lash it deep. There's a little bit of hesitation there, but streaking through again, it's Kantorovich making moves and just knowing where the disc is going to land. A real veteran player, and Jessica Taylor with the goal on the end of it.
What a nice execution there. It's so important to spread your players out when playing against the zone. And you can see that float misread by the intended receiver and the defense, but then another player striking deep, getting the score for Bristol.
Well, we got some love in the live chat. Lovely to have you alongside with us. If you're enjoying this game, feel free to hit that like button. We can hear you from here. Of course, got Ian French giving some reps to Lulu the Goat. Of course, having been part of the gold medal winning squad back in 2019. But Frenchie's going to be coaching, I hear, a certain lesser team called Flame, lesser known team. Not lesser.
Ooh, interesting.
He was being all, what was it? Obtuse in an earlier live chat? We'll go with that. But Durbin getting ready for the pull. Lots of these Bristol athletes having come out through the under-24s divisions back in the day. But that really nice pull, very well handled by Von Stebut and straight into the waiting palms of Garnier. Looking to isolate Volchak in the middle, Flissman taking the match up. Now Garnier, Charles racing off towards the end zone, has Simona Liebert as well. Oh, she tips it, but manages, and a snatch high for Simona Liebert, and you can see the hands of Charlotte Charles going to her face immediately. They got away with that one.
They did it. They did make it a bit more exciting than it had to be, really. Could have been a normal backhand, but the turnaround from Liebert just putting a little more spice in there. Garnier trying to hit Charles. Ooh, tipped and caught, and there was a defensive hand in there as well. And Liebert already moving towards one side, actually probably making a throw easier for Shal, but she doesn't like the easy stuff.
Why make it look easy when you can make it look fun? But absolutely lovely to see those two players coming out and doing damage. Of course, if my memory serves, I believe Charlotte shall start playing her ultimate with Bad Skid in the Open Division.
Indeed. Her older brothers played, and one of them still plays for Bad Skid.
Indeed. Quite a few brothers that play ultimate in that family. But they raise them right.
Cool. Yeah.
In Bad Rapperswil. They've got some wonderful members of the community, of course. And the coach that we mentioned is getting married this weekend. Marco, not here. Also a Bad Skid athlete, but Max Liebersberger and Stefan Neubauer taking that charge. Lovely little slinky pass from Carla Link to Boyd. We can happily just work it all the way up the pitch together doing that. But Henry, I think that's Gemma Henry wearing someone else's shirt. Says Tron on the back, but Kantorovic now. Lovely blind pass, exploiting the face mark. Hocking far side. Has Link trying to dodge through. Gonna have to throw the high around break. Oh, and that's a beautiful throw to the front cone from Lisa Hocking.
And Spanhut, they're probably like 3 or 4 attempts at a defense, slashing through, getting an arm in there, and then also trying with a foot block, but always not just close enough. Not close enough there. And what a nice around pass by Hocking, really going all the way, releasing that just super far away from her body as well.
Yep, Lisa Hocking, formerly of the University of Exeter. And has had a couple of GB caps so far in her career. But hanging tough for Bristol, staying in this game. We've just had just under half of the time expire, so we may be treated to a bit of jingle action soon if you've not had the pleasure of playing a Tom's Tourney. What do I mean by jingles, Christina?
So there's different songs chosen every year for the halftime jingle, the game starting jingle, the 5 minutes left, and the game is ending jingles. And they're always quite catchy tunes.
Yeah, you return home and you just hear them in your head repeatedly.
And it's a good thing they're good songs, otherwise that would be horrible.
I'm waiting for the year of Euro trash.
Oh,
we'll get one, I'm sure. There's one Staybut. Throws slightly loose disc into the air, but the wind has dropped back down. The cloud cover is coming back, but we haven't seen anything like the inclement weather from yesterday as Herkins pops it through to Volchak.
So Bristol started with a zone look to prevent the first initiation play and have now moved over to matchup.
But that's going to be an easy goal on the far sideline. Simona Liebert receiving the disc from Rosa Herkins in stride.
Herkins has really come up in this Germany women's team. Also a player for Jinx, but one of the youngest. Definitely found her role with her team nicely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rosa Herkins was on the under-24 squad back last year in Nottingham, alongside Charlotte Schall and Ava Müller. And Ava Müller, of course, now playing for BFD Shout this season. It's a bit of a get.
Definitely Schall as well. So I think the two of them really enjoyed their time together on the same team.
Indeed. Schall, of course, actually residing in Italy last year. She's a nurse early in her career, so is I think getting some training over in Italy, or a placement year. And you know, if you can go play Frisbee in Bologna, that's pretty good. No Nikki Prian on the pitch today. Hanging out in wellies,
I think.
So Hocking getting the matchup of Inga Naches, that big seagull wingspan, and Henry with the drop. So a non-starter for the offence of Bristol women. As Boyd steps up to match with Marlene Müller. Into Forster. Muller going all the way around, and a casual toss pass from Michael Forster just about makes it, and then easy run up line for Flora Scala.
Those push passes are having a comeback, at least for Germany women. I don't think I've ever seen this many push passes in a game. I like it.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe that we're here for. But that is another break for Germany women. 7-4 now the score. And we should be due a little jingle soon to... Yeah, there we go. Literally just as I say, we should be due it soon. With about 31 minutes on our game clock to get another look at that score. I think you have to credit Bristol women. They are putting the German women's team under a really solid amount of pressure.
Indeed. I think not a lot of teams could hold with them like this. Because it's, I mean, Germany are up 3 points and 2 breaks. But it doesn't seem like any of the team are really like slashing away in terms of matchups. And I think not a lot of club teams would be this close with a national team like that.
Indeed. And there are, I think, a couple of folks from Bristol women who are absent on the women's team. Because obviously GB women also here at Tom's Tourney, having won it last season in their preparation to their silver medal placement at the European Championships. By far one of the best games of the tournament, that GB Germany matchup.
Indeed.
But yeah, in the earlier group stages, let's just say the Germans had a pretty good time of it. Saskia Kantorovic with a beautiful throw to the soft side, but it's going to be misread, unfortunately, in the end zone. But a really nice idea, throwing to the soft side.
Such a nice inside shot as well, floating and putting it out there. Sheck in pursuit. It's really stepping out as Hawking, and then Kantorovic again. Also just, what a nice float. And then the angle just the tiniest bit off, or I would rather call it a misread, because if she had kept in a straight line, would have worked out.
So that one just about hangs on, does Anna Schepper. Into Spanut. Doesn't like the look of the around reset. Skivic coming in. Of course, Fenjugovic, a German national athlete, but played plenty of ultimate in Lanzarote. Beautiful grab and just the big old roll from Begelblock. Back to Schepper. Oh, that's a silky smooth flick. Schepper in, but is thrown behind Scala. And Boyd strolling towards to pick it up. 2 deep cuts and a big put. High release from Lulu Boyd. It's taken away by Scala, but I suspect that was intended to abuse the height and reach of Tash Collins.
Definitely, but Scala just such a good read and jumping her earlier than everyone else and putting her body into position to brush that disc away.
Sogovic to bring the disc back in play. Shuck just about receives a mark from Tash Collins. Govic round break. Scala. Oh, that's a big old launch. Spanut has plenty of space though, and it's going to collect just about before running out of bounds. Now again, really nice play from Germany women, but they're not making it look easy out there, are they?
Absolutely not, but that's half for Germany women with a break. Flora Scala stepping up her game to get Germany in a very good position.
Well, a smashing catch from from Inga Spanut off this big huck from Flora Scala. Don't go anywhere though, folks. Can Bristol bring it back in the second half? We'll find out after this short break.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Come on, Brett!
Second half about to get underway here. Women's power pool stages at Tom's Tourney 2024, the 30th edition, the largest we've ever seen. Large and in charge though at the moment in this game. It's Germany women. They've had a smattering of breaks, 3 to their name in the first proceedings. But the second half, we might see Bristol fight back. They are missing a couple of key personnel due to GB women's team commitments. Great Britain women here at this tournament as well, but also a couple of injuries. Really unfortunate, Christina.
Indeed, one would just think if they had these, I think 5 additional players who are on the top of their roster, within the top of at least, what would that matchup be like? But they're on offense now, showing us what they can do.
Well, 3 of their players are on the GB women's roster, 2 of them injured on the sidelines, so it's looking pretty good for later on in the season. Boyd shooting through to Link, big layout, not able to make the collection from behind is Jessica Taylor. That one going straight to Mona Shuck with a fantastic layout grab. Spanut now, Shuck going up line, but solid switch. That one's going to be way too low, surely, but players calling it down from the sidelines, and that one indeed will be called not quite there. Very low throw.
Gerhold just grabbed it after it was already on the ground, but valiant effort to throw the body around regardless.
Yeah, and a big boost from Lisa Hocking. Tash Collins has Jessica Taylor there. Chooses Kantorovic to move things laterally. Kantorovic has a go at it, puts her hand up to apologise. Jessica Taylor had run all that way, but the disc doesn't make it.
Yeah, nice slashing cut from our near side to the far side there for the continuation, but that just was a bit too hastily thrown. They're calling the German offense to go get closer together. See what they could cook up.
Muller far side. Inga Spanut. Those two just working it with each other. Narkis now has to crouch just to make sure with the wind pushing the disc down. Now Muller again. Cross to dishes. Oh, Muller just about hangs on to that one. Just slowly working it around Gerhold. Oh, that's a lovely one to span it from Narhes, but it just sails shy.
The wind picked up in that exact second and pushed the disc further away out of Spanut's reach.
Oh, goodness gracious me. We're getting another long drawn out point, but it's not what Bristol's O-line wants. But they're putting up every bit of fight. Of course, we mentioned at the early stages of this game, Bristol took the scalp from the French women, so they pulled that game across into the power pool stages. Big set again, but maybe a little bit of a pause on that throw and a later release from Hocking could have gotten there.
Again, 2 players in pursuit. I would rather probably advise him to isolate one player and give them more space for this huck.
Forster exploits the poach off of Hohenhold. And Forster unleashes a shot. Again, though, that's a little bit too high for the receivers downfield for this German D-line offense.
This is another super long point. This time a defensive point for Germany.
So this time it looks to be Carla Link picking the disc up and getting things underway. Trying to initiate Hocking initially, and does. Nice high release flick just to open up that break side. Solid movement from Link. Dish back to Hocking. The two of those just playing a game of catch between each other. And now they get Boyd involved. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Tash Collins on the back line, but doesn't quite get there.
So
nice.
many tries.
Yep. Maybe a little bit of tiredness in the arms, but Collins just running out of room there. Nothing she could do.
I think one of the biggest things, like, still keeping composure on those throws, and maybe the timing is just the tiniest bit off. For both sides, though.
On the initial group stages, as we said, Bristol had that victory over France, as well as fellow UK team, LMU in their pool. But Spanut ripping that one away. Gemma Henry, though, with the catch block. Now Hocking over to Link. Exploits the poach. And again, moving it all the way laterally. Saskia Kantorovic, really fantastic timing. Just emerging from the pack for a big gainer. Now back to Boyd. Collins is there. The disc goes up, and it's a goal for Bristol women. They take their first in this second half. And layers come off for the players who've been on the sideline for quite some time watching that one develop.
Indeed, they have. There's about 18 minutes left to play in this game, and we finished at around halftime, which is 30 minutes with the first half. So you can do your own math about how long that 1 point will last. And usually these longer points go in terms of energy level. They go to the team that. The energy goes to the team that wins the point, that actually makes that point. So we'll see if Bristol can catch up a little bit with the German side.
Well, Team Germany having lots of chats on the pitch. It's the time between these points is a little bit longer than it will be at the World Championships later on this year. But great to see Bristol putting another point on the board. They trail 3 breaks in this game, and the German women's team started out on offense, so they've got it all to do. But we've got some love from some coaches in our live chat. Got Ian French alongside, as we've already mentioned, but also Advanced Ultimate Coaching, also known as Connor McHale. Nice to have you alongside us, Connor. Putting out some excellent content on the social medias. So Bristol looking to try and get a break back off of this German women's team that have not been picture perfect on offence. Charles popping back to Garnier. Loads of support vocally from the Bristol sideline. On Staybook connecting with Garnier. And so looks like a sagging handler set, trying to just apply a cup and stop the motion there, but Anna Garnier all the way to the bank, nearly. Chooses to be conservative rather than trying to hit Liebert in isolation. Everyone else now in the end zone getting involved. Charles and Garnier just playing a bit of ball between the two of them. Lovely big around break to Herkens, and that will do very nicely. A very quick offense point for Germany women.
Indeed, they made such quick work of that zone that Bristol put on. Really just moving the disc laterally until they had this hole to pop it through. And then, as you said, very conservative play in the red zone, trying to clean it up and get the one isolated person in the front to go, which was Herkens in this iteration. And with a break, with a throw who can break like that, a lot of things get easier.
We do like to see this action going on, and I like the choice from Bristol to try and put out, it wasn't completely his own, I think it was the kind of, to try and put the three handler marks, kind of switching and poaching and kind of trying to bracket and contain the handler set of the Germans, because they are putting a lot of action through those players. You totally understand why. They are absolute world class and very good at what they do, so they can really just drive and move the disc between them. But I like the creativity, trying to kind of, just confuse that space and force the German women to use their stack more, because when they've been waiting for their stack to emerge, that's when some of the problems seem to be coming through.
Agreed. Like, just always stopping this first action, the one thing that they can control in on offense is usually the one thing they want to run first. So if you stop that, you already win a lot.
Nice recovery there from Hocking in the centre. Oh, love that. Mona Schuck just putting the foot out on the big fake from Lulu Boyd's big right arm. That's a shot up the sideline, but Tash Collins isn't quite going to manage it. Good pinning from Givich to that far sideline.
It's really nice pressure. And this is one of the zones that you don't want to pressure a turn immediately. Just want to wind and grind until the offense just gives up and throws something stupid.
Frustration, denial defense. Serkovic through to Scala. Lashes it deep, but that's going to be way too far, surely, for Mona Schuck. Yeah, she gives up. She was close, but she's unfortunately not quite that good.
Could have been a Box Vienna connection there.
No, not to be, Christina, not to be this time. So a squandered opportunity for the German D-line, but Henry unable to keep her paws around that. Shepherd. Happy birthday, by the way, to that Anna Shepherd, the number 5, but it slips away into the good night, that disc. Boyd thinking about it again.
Winding up twice.
Why not, Joe Cole, why not? Lovely layout from Lisa Hocking, a multi-sport athlete. Also does jiu-jitsu, and that's the goal for Saskia Kantorovic. Nice hands and a nice find from Carla Link. You can see it was quite the grind. Bristol women holding on to their offense just about.
And Germany are getting those chances again and again, but just not quite connecting on these offensive possessions from their defense. And that's a pity. I think that's really one of the screws that need to be tightened. But I'm sure they're aware.
Well, those 3 breaks strong are the Germany women's team. 9-6 with just over 11 minutes to go. Our next game slot will also feature some German national team action. You got the Open Division.
And some British action as well.
Indeed.
Clapham.
As Stefan Rapazzo's body decides to make some jubilant noises in celebration right next to our microphones. There's a little shot there. It's always impressive how much these national teams really support each other. Of course, the German national programs last season deciding to have combined training camps, getting
really
everybody
cool.
together.
It's just a different level of energy. If you can support your fellow countrymen.
Support your
and women.
troops.
Just train together and see all the cool things everyone's doing.
And the connections of their coaching staff as well. As we see Liebert isolated in the space underneath. Got a good smattering of that World Games team that's so well connected together. Charles now into Herkens. Levchuk getting that initiation. Doing a bit of Wuzhen. Lev Kovalchuk, of course, to give her a full name, but I guess Levchuk will do. Herkens going for it, but Von Steyboot is going to open up the break side throw, and just trotting in like a show pony goes Charlotte Schall.
Everything she does looks so easy.
Oh,
It's so light on the feet.
It's like sports glam, you know? It's proper sports glam.
You see their offense is really dialed in now. And using all of their people as well. So we always talk about 3 or 4 names on that team, but there's actually 7 players, and all of these 7 are used very well. That's why the German offense works. You have 7 all-around players that can run as well as they throw. It's really impressive. So all holds in the second half.
Yep.
Gotten into a good rhythm here.
And so there is still hope for Bristol, even if they can't advance over Germany here. Because as we already mentioned, it's just about placement now. The top 2 power pools going straight into quarterfinals. Everyone gets a shot. And
Just
perhaps
depends
this
how-
evening as well.
Depends on how hard you want to work in your quarterfinal.
Well, yeah, giving yourself every opportunity to advance, but there's some pretty nice teams up here in the women's division, very strong this season, the 30th edition. Henry far side, all the way across. Hocking now, takes a rather racy one, but Ingen Arhes is more aggressive towards the disc and boxed out Tash Collins.
She knew why that had to be sippy.
It's a difficult angle to hit for sure. First up, easy toss pass to Müller. Winds up that backhand, throws the flick instead, and Hocking just about puts enough on it to get the disc back after that throwaway. Boyd. Oh, such a good fake that she sends Scala flying. But again, the German women's defense, they know what it is that Bristol want to do. And that is shoot some shots. Forster over to Nahis, but the wind's going to take it away this time, but Spanut, the redeemer. Müller anchoring, always at the back. Great intensity there from Hocking. It doesn't quite work it out. Müller again. Force it in plenty of space, and it opens up the break side. Easy days. Scala does have to go to the knees, but that will work.
Another good break for Germany there. Nice offensive possession. Spanut saving the day. Also some love in the comments from her brother Malte. So a hug, I think that's what he said on YouTube.
And some Freiburg support as well. Jonas Radke.
Cheering for Förster, probably. Usually plays mixed with Freiburg.
And we also have some EUF love, Ted Boyter.
Oh, Ted. Always watching.
Big fan of the off-hand backhand. Or the step out and throw the barbecue backhand. Both way better than a forehand in a situation where you have a short distance to throw.
The barbecue backhand, the dad.
Yeah, I hate it. Oh, and you know what else I dislike intensely, Christina?
Rain.
It's the re-emergence of the rain.
It's said to be a short, strong rain.
Yes.
today.
But strong rain is the worst rain. I'd much rather have a light rain.
I think if we're choosing,
If you get confused, you might hear the sound of zips for a while as we zip up our. We do at least have a tent here. It's a fantastic tent. It's been strapped to our risers ourselves. It's a project of much love. Yesterday afternoon, not yesterday afternoon, Thursday. The days here are slipping by so quickly, but we love a 3-day Tom's Tourney. Of course, more time for Bristol, more time for hanging out with the wonderful European ultimate community, and of course, more time to play ultimate frisbee. So Bristol looking to punch another one on the board if they can. Boyd thinking about it. Stall count starting to rise, pops that one out. Henry sliding and slipping on the ground, but not coming up with the disc. And the jingle goes for 5 minutes remaining of the game clock, as we acquire many players underneath our shelter as well. Givic, inside shot through to Shepper. Scala. Of course, this German women's D-line are hopefully going to get plenty of action if they ascend, but Shuck unable to collect that one, makes the bid.
yeah, Sheck just giving it their all and jumping in there, but just a bit too far out in front. So it looked like she slipped a little bit there.
Well, that heavy rain we're going to get, this will makes it slippery on the turf. Link bringing us back into play. Lots of big faking, but an easy one through to Hocking. Has Flissman, is going to have to track that one down, does so well. Kantorovich on the far sideline, but it's Henry in the centre. Link. Nice safe selection of the shot there from Henry. This is much better connections from Bristol. Taylor just trying to grind it through, but going to need something closer towards the disc, but it's going to be Carla Link up the line, collecting high, and that is a solid offensive point for Bristol.
Yeah, the Link show now. Carla getting every other beast and punching the disc in on that far side in the back, just outrunning the defender this time. He's beautifully into space. Help defense comes from behind, but doesn't work out for them. 7-11.
What time is that, Christina?
Slurpee time.
We're so excited to use our Patsoisms. But of course, it's great to be here at Tom's Tourney. The rain has now stopped again.
That's the heavy the short but heavy showers. Boris predicted, the weather app predicted.
Well, my phone informed me that we'd get rain at 5 in the PM.
Okay.
And we're 2 hours shy of that, but the man with the real know-how is of course tournament director extraordinaire Boris van der Look. He's got a little weather app with the maps, tracking the clouds. Thankfully, no thunderstorms so far this weekend. We had the first ever iteration of thunderstorms last year at Tom's Tourney, being here by the coast in Bruges.
30 years in the making.
Indeed, and they apparently very rarely get thunderstorms here. So, German O-line, Liv Kovalchuk into Klompelt. Separation, making these throws able to be much softer, just sitting out on the breeze, like on a porch in the Midwest. That one high for Garnier, but all fine. On Stable stumbles. Keeps the boots on the ground now. Casual one-hander for Volchuk. Things looking a little bit compressed, but the underthrown pass, Garnier makes the bid. Now this is an opportunity here for Bristol in the late stages. Amelia Durbin picking up with about a third of the pitch left to go. Taylor with a beautiful jink move. Pick's going to be called.
There's a foul hand signal, but I'm not sure if that's true.
Oh, I didn't quite. I thought I saw a pick hand, but it does make more sense for a foul because that would be a push off from Taylor. Helen Grosse-Braukmann. The shimmy shake had too much touch, apparently.
Chris Helen also coached in the juniors division. Under 17, I believe, last year. So given back to the community in that way. And it's an accepted foul. But the disc will go back to Dubs.
Probably on about, reckon, stall 4.
Yep.
And the jingle for time plays over the airways. Durbin's just going to have to jack it. Taylor is going to make it, though. Beautiful stuff from Bristol women, and they break the German women's team back.
That is such a great shot from Amelia Durbin. Really putting it out into space. Loads of stress on that release already. A high stall for sure. But then Taylor in the perfect position. We'll get a replay of that beautiful shot there. Looking for a reset. Like, oops, nobody there. I'm just going to huck it.
Just lost it, mate. Just lost it. Yeah, really great rundown as well from Taylor, but you have to tip your hat, though, to the handler marking defense from Anna Gerner and Rosa Herkens, both absolutely denying the resets to Renate van Nuyten and I forget who the other handler was, actually. It might have been Hocking or Orling. But anyway, that's a really, really fantastic shutdown for them. But Bristol doing the right thing and just sending it. Standard summer Berlin weather, says Alex Dougal in our live chat. If you're enjoying this matchup, feel free to hit that like button. All 266 of you currently watching this live.
Oh, yes. Derbs with another pull. He's going to stay out there after that phenomenal throw.
Yeah, it was pretty quick turnover and burn as well, but the hooter, I think, went during that point, Christina.
Indeed, so we're playing this one out and adding one.
Oh,
and
but
that's
pressure from the defense causing the spill. Oh, right then, we might have a game. Van Nuyten on the disc. Nice delicate catch for Kat Johnson. Back to Van Nuyten. Durbin. Little flash fakes. Taylor now gunning towards the deep space. Huge pressure from all the defenders. And again, it's going to be Amelia Durbin trying to get creative. Nearly gets there as well. But Rona Binney just a little bit short.
another one, but you could really see in that shot how the rain impacted and wind impacted that already. So you can see the drops through the camera angle here showing up unannounced.
Difficult one to catch as well. Rona Binney having a real ask there. Grosse-Braukmann heading off towards the deep space. Now gunning back under. Big shapes mean big gains. But fantastic handler marking. Big high one. Just about scoops underneath though, the laying out form. Well, where was this defense hiding all game, Christina?
Oh, it's here now and I'm here for it.
But yeah, fantastic work. Kant Johnson just denying with her body any of the reset throws that the Germans wanted. But the full stretch required. Flissman just heads off towards the deep space. Taylor's there. Johnson now. Oh, this is really lovely flow. Making it easier. Oh, but that's a bit too big. Man tries to go up for it. Absolute ripper of a backhand. Simona Liebelt trying to finish it, but stumbling, losing her footing a little. And the Germans find themselves under some pressure. They do have a big old cushion, of course.
But that's also caught by the wind, and there was one break already. And there's opportunity for another. We'll see who can adapt to those conditions better.
Well, the live chat saying standard Berlin summer weather. This is also standard UK summer weather. It's a touch cold.
Just a little.
But we're very much all used to, our Northern European friends, we're all used to playing in a bit of wind and rain. So, again, Bristol trying to squeeze themselves down that far sideline. Good solid work from the handler marks. Oh, Taylor getting low but unable to close the hands around the disc before hitting the deck. Herkins to Garner. Charles just coming all the way back, barely making yards. Garner though expanding a little. Nice find. Oh, that was lucky. Herkins redeeming. Volchak dancing. Anna Garner. Did those ballet toes make it? No, not quite. But expanding around to Charles. Again.
Still not there.
Trying to go for that toe drag swag. Oh, all the German women. Oh, but it's an easy toss pass over the top. Anna Garner will seal the deal for Germany women. 12-8 the final score, but Bristol did get that one break just to make things exciting in the latter stages.
Indeed, that was such a good showing of them.
I think I'm just double checking because it did look for a minute like Bristol were readying themselves to play another point here, but that will indeed finish us off. Well, what a commendable performance. Germany women in the early stages of their season looking a little bit shaky coming out of the blocks, Christina.
Yeah, still figuring things out, maybe looking at personnel. Of course, they're with their extended roster, so still adding some practice players in there. We'll see who will stick for their travel to Australia, but a commendable performance by Bristol for sure, and especially with that spicy weather change during the game. Well done from them to adjust.
Yeah, looking at some of our micro stats from the game, the perfect conversion rate for the Germany O-line, not quite where it needs to be later on this year if they're going to see themselves at a podium finish in Australia, but it might be good enough for a podium finish here. Of course, all of the results will be available on ULTI.org, so ULTIE.org/Toms2024 if you want to check all of that out. But thank you so much for joining us. If you are a fan of German Ultimate, do not go anywhere. And if you're a fan of GB Ultimate, also do not go anywhere, or a fan of Ultimate in general, because of course the next game slot will be Clapham versus Germany Open. For myself, Hannah Pendlebury, for Christina Obermeyer, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you on the other side.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
ULTI.TV.